There's always like variations of fuzz. I have like 3 Jazzmasters, and this one is like by far the most like responsive with like all those weird freak tonal. You can kind of get like
welcome to Mothership Gear. You might notice we're in a different studio today. This is Voyage Studios in Tustin, California, and it's owned by Chris Sikora. So thank you so much, Chris, for letting us in. And we're with another Chris Darley, also known as Dirty Dixie on Instagram. Chris, you are a singer-songwriter, producer, and guitarist with Father John Misty. You were saying you were in Father John Misty before Dan?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And you said that there's been kind of like a difference in how you approach amps, right? Like it's quieter on stage now, and so that's why you have a bigger pedal board?
Yeah, for sure. Just now it's like, you know, more stage control as far as sonics go. It just means it sounds better at front of house. And so using all this stuff and like, you know, smaller amps, like I have been using this 62 Tremolux, but now it's like keeping it at a good amp at a low volume is sometimes uninspiring, but you know, I can kind of more or less get the inspiration from the pedals, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot different maybe 8 years ago when we were just like all wasted and turning everything to 10.
Hold on, Mo. We've already had the mic go rogue on us.
Oh shit, sorry.
Just move it closer to him, because he's going to be facing me more.
I know, I'm so bad with mics.
I was just watching it like go through your hair.
This is how I sing to him, like, ah, nah, nah.
So, okay, so you're showing us the first guitar that we're looking at is the 1959 Jazzmaster. Yeah. What does that mean? Is this vintage?
Yeah. This is like an actual 1959 Jazzmaster. Yeah, I got it through my luthier.
Who's your luthier?
This guy, Mike. He goes by Guitar Doc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he used to be in Fountain Valley, but now he just moved to Costa Mesa. But you can look him up.
Have we met Mike before? That sounds very familiar.
He's like the best.
Okay.
I bring everything to him, and once you have somebody that actually knows what they're doing as far as setups go, it's like when I get a guitar out of the box, it's like some people will be like, yeah, you know, but I like can't play a guitar now that isn't handled by him first.
Yeah. Well, what did he do to this one?
Oh yeah. So this used to be his.
Oh, okay.
And I ended up buying it from him, but what was cool is I'd always wanted a Jazzmaster. I was curious about him, and he had a 63, and I was playing that one, and it was really fucking awesome. And then he's like, wait until you hear the 59, and I played this one, and it was like instantly like a whole world opened up for me as far as like what I thought these could do, and what my playing on a guitar, like usually like I'll play like country stuff, and to me at the time I didn't know that this was actually like in the 60s and stuff, like a semi-popular country guitar, that like it's perfect for that sound, and tones and stuff. But yeah, this used to be his. I guess like it kind of has like a weird history with this country singer named Tex Ritter. His guitar player that I can't remember his name right now, he owned it, and I guess this guitar was played like in honky tonks and
no way,
smoky bars and.
So the luthier bought it off of
that guy, that Tex Ritter's guitar player,
okay.
And I don't know, I think he just kind of was like done with playing music or something.
Okay.
And I think Doc got a good deal on it, and then so it's been refretted. It had a really crazy break here. You can kind of see like where it this thing snapped off. I'm pretty sure these are replacement. There was a mastery bridge put on, which is pretty standard now with Jazzmasters, and then I think everything else is original. These are original. The pickups. These are 2 different colors, so that makes me feel suspect on if that's original or not. But yeah, the thing has just like been really played. Like I've done some of this, but all this back wear and like the neck is like it's just wood, but I love the way this thing feels, and it was kind of one of those moments where when I played, I never had like a romantic affair with a guitar in this way, where it was just like it kind of became like a part of me or something.
Yeah.
I was like, this is my guitar.
Yeah.
I never thought I would be the guy that's like, this guitar is like the one guitar that I would never sell or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I feel about it. But
do you have a
great.
relationship with anyone at Fender? Like, what are they aware of this guitar? Like, is this something that needs to be like? Maybe one day, but I don't know. I mean, I know Matt from Fender, and he's been really good to me over the years with getting us amps and stuff for the road and guitar, like lots of guitars. And but yeah, I've actually considered like when I get a little bit more money, like giving this to the custom shop and being like, can you make me one that's like anywhere close to the way that this one is? Because I actually went to Wilco's studio, and if you know Nels Cline, he's like the Jazzmaster guy. Yeah.
And I played. We recorded one of the new songs that on our new record that's coming out this year. I picked up like a couple of his Jazzmasters, and I was like, okay, this is the dude. Like,
yeah.
And I played his, and I'm not talking shit on him or anything. But I felt like all those guitars, like maybe they're just sitting around and then no one like sets them up or anything, but they just didn't feel good. And I just thought mine sounded way better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this one has a story, and then that's why I asked you about the 59, because I feel like that's a pretty early year, and what I know about like guitars is
it's like with guitars too. I guess 59 was like the year for
right.
I mean, like now like 59 Les Pauls are like
right
are like as much as a house.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't know what that was. Maybe it was because like all the like famous players like coveted that year. I think it was like Jeff Beck had a 59 and like maybe Eric Clapton and then Jimmy Page. But something about that year like made all those guys make it, this like holy grail year of guitars. And yeah, it's just cool that this one is kind of like, it's not, for some reason, like a Jazzmaster didn't get as popular because like, but it's like, I think if like Jimmy Page had played a Jazzmaster or something, it would have been as like, maybe this would have been as worth like millions of dollars or something, which that's what I feel like a lot of gear is now. It's just like who makes it cool, and then everybody raises the price on that.
Yeah. It seems like the Jazzmaster is like I don't know. It feels like it's the most popular it's ever been because it's so diverse.
It is. I mean, that's the thing that like totally captivated me about this guitar. I actually like hated Jazzmasters for a long time.
Really? What did you hate about them?
I thought they were like indie rock guitars or something.
Yeah. They definitely
like,
give off that.
Or like not like grunge, because grunge to me is like maybe more of like a Jaguar or like Kurt Cobain kind of guitar. But this, after playing it, I'm just like, this is just a really good feeling guitar. Like the neck is like, I love how long it is, and the pickups are like surprisingly super, almost like microphonic, and they're loud. But yeah, it just does everything. And like I almost to a fault even here with Chris, like recording on stuff, like someone will ask me like, oh yeah, let's do a guitar solo, and I'll just like immediately grab this guitar, and then like someone else will come in and I'll play a song and I'll grab this guitar, and then Chris is like, you're just gonna keep using that guitar like on everything, like and I'm like, oh yeah, shit, we got other guitars. But it's just one of those things where it's like it sounds like you can make it sound like a million other guitars to me, like a Tele, like it definitely can sound like a Tele.
Yeah, show us some of the different pickup patterns.
You know, like that's like Tele, or you can, you know, obviously this thing. So like Fender was like marketing these for jazz players, you know, like which didn't end up working out, because if you at the time all the jazz players were playing all these like pimped out Gibson guitars. And so Leah was like, well, I need to make something that's, you know, jazz player friendly. So he made the Jazzmaster, and I heard from some accounts that like they like just thought it was a toy.
Who, the jazz people?
They were like, that's like a child's toy. Like, why would we trade our Gibsons in for something like this? And it really does though have like, you know, it's like you can like get, you know, all that. This switch is like the rhythm switch, which like a lot of people hate, but you can get really interesting tones out of this too with like, you know, playing a fuzz through it or something. And it's just it's just super versatile. And I think one of the famous, I was trying to think of like a famous Jazzmaster song, and the only one that came to mind was actually a jazz guy borrowing this guitar off another session player in the 60s for that Elvis song, Little Sister.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that's a Jazzmaster.
Really?
And when you hear the tone of the guitar, it sounds like a twangy Tele or something, but it's I can't remember that dude's name. But yeah, it's a Jazzmaster, and I mean, obviously, like these are kind of known for surf rock and stuff, you know.
I always think of, well, I don't know, is it a Jazzmaster? Did you see that thing you do?
Yes.
Is that a Jazzmaster?
I can't remember. I actually like need to rewatch that movie.
It's one of my favorite movies.
It's so cheesy and stupid, but it's amazing. It's like I think that movie is actually filmed where I live in the Orange Circle. But I don't know. Maybe it was. But what was I gonna say? Well,
yeah, we were talking about the jazz, the rhythm, and then you said you can get a Tele sound.
Yeah.
Do you want to, maybe we transition into how you're using it with the pedals? Like we were playing earlier, the vibrato.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe like show us some of the like staples.
Staple Misty stuff with this, because, okay. Well, I mean, like, this pedal is just fun. I mean, I use it for like one song on Misty. There's like a Leslie guitar, and it's just perfect for that, the Lex Strymon pedal. Let's see, Rainbow Machine. I think it sometimes is on my Misty board, but it's kind of there's a lot of moments in Misty's sets where there's parts that are like anti-music parts.
What does anti-music part mean?
Like where you just make a fucked up crazy sound.
Oh yeah.
And there's I have a couple pedals that I'll try, you know, to achieve that with, but this one kind of just does this weird oscillating thing. If I can get it to do it. Yeah, there it goes. But like that on like a, well, it'll climb higher and higher, but I don't have this thing all the way up, but I don't want to blow your guys' eardrums out. You know, that kind of shit. But let's see. I guess the like main thing is like there's always like variations of fuzz. Oh yeah, and this I'll talk a little bit about. There's a dude. His name's Jan, and he owns this company, BS Instruments, Body and Soul Instruments, and he's amazing. He can kind of recreate any pedal. So this right here is like a King of Tone that he's made for me, but it's just like it's a boost and then like a distortion, like a. But he makes me a bunch of different fuzzes. This fuzz right here is like a tone bender. That's not on my board right now, but I use that a lot with Misty. The main thing that I use the most, and this is kind of like my secret to, I guess my sound and with Misty, is this just basic bitch flashback TC Electronics pedal. I literally like, there's so many moments like where it'll be like a section where it needs to do like a crazy sound, and I'll just kind of do like, let's see, there's like if we're playing a song and there's a part that's like, we'll go back into it.
That's sick.
But it's so many people have like asked me after shows like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like, how are you doing that? And it's that pedal. And it's funny enough, I haven't seen a lot of people like have that pedal, and it's like a great delay. But honestly, I just use that effect on it for like, it's just so fun to just be like, it's so touch sensitive. You can kind of like,
wow,
press harder. But
does it ever go longer than you intended?
Well, what's cool is like you can set how like I can make it super quick.
So as long as your full foot is off, it's done.
It's like all pressure sensitive.
Okay,
so
like, it's not like it's not like multiple on and offs where like if you forget that you leave it on and
you
walk
can have
away.
the trail, I think, longer. So like when you let go of it, it'll go like
Okay.
But I've never had a problem with it.
That's sick.
It's sick. I mean, like, just for, like, anyone could do that, too.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know how to play guitar and you want to be cool, you literally could just get this pedal and be like, oh, shit! you know?
That's sick.
But, yeah, I use that pedal a lot. That's pretty much...
And then what are you doing with your equalizer? Is that always on, or is that for a specific song to get, like, a specific tone?
I haven't used this thing until recently, and I realized like kind of like a world I was missing. What's Tom Bukovac, the session guitar player, he talks about it, and certain guitars, like every guitar has like a different sound obviously, but you can kind of, if you know how to use EQ, which I'm not the smartest with doing that, but there's just little tricks you can do, like boosting the mids on a Jazzmaster just helps it like open up a little more. And like I'll kind of like, now using this pedal, I can kind of like, if something sounds a little thin, I can fatten it up, or if it sounds too bright, I can darken it a bit without going to the amp. Also, it's a great boost and drive. Like if you just pop it up a little bit on the, let's see, I can't really get to it right now, but if you kind of, it's like you can make it a drive pedal too, so it's really cool. I honestly, you could just do a lot with that pedal, which I'm now. It's kind of going to be like a staple on my board.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a great way to control the tone.
Yeah, like even touring with different guitars with different pickup output, you can just have that be like your pickup matcher, where if you're like, oh, I'm bringing you know, a Jazzmaster and a 335, you know, Gibson, and you don't like how the transition from those two are, you can kind of make the Jazzmaster or like the single coil pickup sound more like a humbucker by just messing with some EQ and boosting it so it matches the output of the humbucker.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for showing us. Yeah. Does this Jazzmaster have a name?
No, I thought about it. I thought about calling it like Tex or something, but I don't know, just like the guy that has like different names for. I feel like I have to be like 65 years old, and then I'll have like guitar names, you know. But right now I don't.
Okay. Yeah. So right now it's just a 59 Jazzmaster.
It's just my 59 Jazzmaster that I love.
I love that. Well, where can people find you if they want to follow along in your guitar journey? Just my Instagram for now. I'm slowly in the works of writing my first LP. I'm gonna come out with a 4-song, probably EP or single thing I'm doing with this artist Michael Ralt. But for now, just my Instagram is fine. dirtydixie. Sweet. But yeah. Cool. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We have another episode that we will be doing with the Silvertone acoustic. Yep. So make sure you guys subscribe. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching Ildefonso Inc. And we will see you guys next time. Later.